Thank you all so much for joining me. It is such a privilege to get to talk to everybody, especially in the nice weather when I know everybody has other things that they might also want to be doing. We're going to start off just standing up really nice and tall. By nice and tall, what I mean is think about lengthening through your spine, like somebody has one of your hairs on the top of your head, they're pulling you up, but also by checking them with your pelvis. And if you have your two hip bones right in front here, and then the bottom of your rib cage, expanding that space, opening up through the front of your chest, which means drawing your collarbones, opening them up apart to the sides. So you've got this really tall, elegant posture. Hopefully I'm being a good example of that right now. And from this standing position, all we're going to do is a little bit of shoulder external rotation. So my elbows are at 90 degrees here. See from the side, my palms are facing up, and then I'm going to draw my thumbs to the wall behind me and back together. You can inhale as you draw your thumbs apart, and then exhale as you bring them back together if you like coordinating breath with the movement. And we're going to hang out here for a few repetitions. You keep going. I wanted to point out that as my thumbs come out to the side, my shoulder blades are also pinching in behind me and then coming out. So shoulder blades in and together, and then coming apart, thumbs going back behind me, opening up through the chest and back, and inhaling and back. So you have a lot of moving pieces. If it feels difficult to coordinate, that's fine. You will absolutely get there. And it might also feel quite easy because for some of us, this is a natural movement pattern that just happens, right? Organically, your shoulder blades might come together as your thumbs come apart here. But then there are other times that, you know, our bodies don't, and everybody's a little bit different. All right, so you can relax the hands down to the side. The next thing we're going to do is spread our feet a little bit wider apart. And we're actually going to do a wall angel with an imaginary wall, right? I have no wall right behind me right now, but I'm going to imagine that there's a wall behind me. My back is perfectly flat on that wall, and the backs of my wrists, my elbows, backs of my shoulders, everything is on that imaginary wall right now. What I'm going to do is I'm then going to sort of snow angel my hands up and down, keeping everything on that wall. If you feel like this is very easy, round through your lower back, tucking that pelvis just a little bit so that your back is even flatter on that imaginary wall, and draw the backs of your hands back a little bit further. Now it's going to be very easy while you're at the bottom. Come back up so you're in sort of a T position here with hands coming straight out to the sides. Draw the backs of your hands a little bit further back and drop through the shoulders. And then continue on up with your snow angel, wall angel position here, drawing the backs of your hands a little bit further back. We're maintaining that really gorgeous, nice, tall standing posture as we continue through this position. You might notice that there are some sticky spots. So right here, sort of the Y from the YMCA, I have a little bit of limited mobility. I notice my hands wanting to come forward. So I pause here and I spend extra time drawing them back, just sort of acknowledging that challenge in my body and bringing it down. One more time. And coming on down. If that was tiring for your shoulders, give them a little shake out. The next thing we're going to do is a side stretch, bending to the side here. One thing that I wanted to mention is, as you bend to the side, make sure that you are bending up and over something rather than just collapsing through the side. You can see that as I collapse through the side, hopefully you can see, I've come forward a little bit as well. And I am getting a broader range of motion, but I'm restricting my ability to breathe because I've squashed into this side. Hopefully that's visually apparent. Whereas when I am going up and over, almost like you have a giant imaginary yoga ball next to you, and I'm going up and over, I'm also squashed between two imaginary panes of glass. So my shoulders are staying square, hips are staying square here as I lean over. If it's a challenge for you, you could absolutely put your hand on something stable as you lean up and over. If it's easy for you, have your feet wide apart, and we're going to be going up and over here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drop into the position a little bit more. And continue that cycle with every breath. So inhaling and lengthening, exhaling, coming into the position. Coming into that side bend. Checking in, making sure you're still nice and square. So I still am squashed between imaginary panes of glass, and I'm not twisting or turning at all. Coming right back up, and we'll go ahead to the other side, whichever variation is better for you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. Now you may notice that when you are bending and lengthening at the same time, it takes a little bit more core engagement. That's a good thing. Come right back up and bring your arms down to the side. We're going to continue with some shoulder mobility exercise here just by doing a giant circle with our right arm. So, or my right arm. You could choose whatever you would like to choose for your arm. We'll do the other side next. I'm keeping my shoulders square to the imaginary front of the room, my hips square, and I'm just moving my arm. So my shoulders square and my chest is staying flat here. I might move my shoulder back as I reach towards that wall behind me and go around the circle, reaching forward, reaching up, reaching back, getting that maximum range of motion as I go through this circle. Beautiful. As we sit, as we are doing desk work or repetitive work, there is often a lack of range of motion. So especially for our upper bodies, it's nice to get all the angles represented. Let's switch sides here. Again, static, nice square, hips, shoulders, and then just reaching with this one side. All the way forward, all the way up, all the way back, especially back, and then down. That giant circle. Incredible. We're going to go around a couple more times just to keep it even with the other side. And then we'll put both arms together so we are getting some twisting with the next move we're doing. Awesome. So next, I'm spreading my feet apart again, and I'm going to reach forward with my left arm, back with my right arm, up. So left arm's reaching up, right arm's reaching down, switching. Hopefully it's obvious that I'm getting some rotation through my spine here. And as long as it feels great for you, you can go ahead and get some awesome rotation for your spine. Wonderful. Both arms down. Going to do a little desk cat-cow here. So my imaginary desk here, going to place my hands on it. If you don't have access to a desk or something like that near you, you can absolutely be on hands and knees on the floor. I'm just going to be arching and rounding here. So getting a nice arch through my back and extending it through the whole spine, or as much of the spine as I can tap into. Not just allowing the arch to go into the lower back. And then rounding through the lower back and not just allowing my upper back to take all of the round. back and forth. You can inhale as you arch and exhale as you round. Inhale and exhale. One last round, we'll inhale as we arch. And one last exhale here. We will put my imaginary disc away. And we're going to do something for the lower body here. Just a few leg swings. So start off, I'm going to be using my left leg, and I'm going to bring my left leg up and to the front, and then down, and then back. So you can see I'm starting off with lots of control, pausing, 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 pausing. And then as I get comfortable and I've given my body that courtesy call, I can use a little bit of momentum if it feels enjoyable for me and fun, just to get a little bit more height and range of motion. Obviously, hold on to something if you are not completely stable here. It's always nice, even if you have incredible balance, it's nice to have a backup plan. So having something accessible that you can hold on to if you do need to grab something. And we'll do the other side. Again, starting off, bringing my foot up, down, and back. Nice and slow. And then once I've adapted to the possibility that my leg could be flying all over the place, then I can add a little bit of momentum. One last one here. And thank you so much for joining me.